Hello, everybody. Xander here, and today I'll be doing a game room show off for 2020. Just this year, I started collecting properly. I love games, grew up with games all my life, and I just this year started truly getting down and collecting and getting the consoles that I've never played before, such as SNES, NES, PlayStation 1, all the really good consoles that were back in the day. So I'll be doing a room review, and today we're going to be starting off with the modern consoles right here. Now, this is my Philips TV. I've had this for about 5-ish years now. It's pretty small, but I don't really care about size. If it works, it works. It's actually really good graphics for the size of the TV. And as you can see right below it, we got the PS4 right there. This is not my main console because right below it, as you can see, the Xbox One, that is my main console. I've grown up with Xbox, so pretty brand loyal to them. But I do love PlayStation. I grew up with both, but I always had Xbox more. Now, on to my little shrine for Halo and Aliens vs. Predator. I love Halo. It's technically the first game I've ever played. Literally day one, my dad brought me from the hospital and handed me a controller and played some Halo. So, kind of a little funny story there, but it is true. So I have kind of a little shrine to Halo, and I grew up playing and watching the Aliens vs. Predator movies. So that's just a little shrine right there. Really like the merch there. And don't question why I got the PlayStation mug right next to the SNES. My PlayStation is down in that bottom drawer right there. But we're going to go with the SNES. Just got this year, let's see, probably at the start of June, somewhere around there. Went to Tennessee with my friend Gavin, and got this. This was not cheap, by the way. It was about $75. You could obviously get one for much cheaper. I've seen one for as low as about $40, but that's from this place right here, Second Chance. They're the best. Great local place for buying games and DVDs and such. So this homie right here, and obviously you got to have the Donkey Kong Country in there, one of the best games for the SNES, no doubt. My CRT, this is a Dynex CRT, really good quality video, amazing quality for the GameCube over there, and I've had this GameCube since I was a kid. Just recently I got this awesome GameCube stand from a Etsy seller, cannot remember the name, really wish I did, but holds GameCube controllers, and that's basically its only purpose. Got the little special Smash Bros. Ultimate GameCube controller, and if you gotta have the Ultimate controller, you gotta have Melee. Melee is the best Smash Bros. A lot of people will agree with me. Me, personally, I grew up with it, so that's just my favorite. I grew up with Brawl 2, but Melee is where it's at in my heart. The Wii, I've also had this since I was a kid. Kind of basically had the same console because the Wii is just a super-powered GameCube. It's basically the GameCube Advanced, is the way I call it. But the difference is I always use GameCube for GameCube games, even though that this could play GameCube games. So I kind of just kept this around forever. Now, up here is the... as you can see, the handheld drawer. I got this Game Boy Advance for very, very, very cheap. Very while back, actually. It was only $20 at, again, Second Chance, the biggest pog ever. All the Pokemon games I've played every single generation. So Pokemon is just, I grew up with that too. And I do understand Pokemon's pretty hard to get into if you haven't grew up with it, but I did, so I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess. Gold, both red and blue, and then fire red because it's obviously the best version. And right under that is probably the rarest thing I have in my collection, a complete in-box Soul Silver, and I got this for about $80, a complete steal. The only downside is I have this little tear right here, otherwise it's in amazing condition. Well, there goes my red. It's in amazing condition. And $80 for a game from last time I checked is complete in box about $300-400. That's pretty good. got all the Metroids and Pokemon DS games over here, and obviously, the best-selling one, Mario, Pokemon Platinum. And I got another little rare thing, rare, because I got this for about 25 bucks. It's Metroid NES game, but for the Game Boy Advance when they were redoing Game Boy Advance games, but for portable. That was really cool at the time, and I played a lot of Game Boy games from the NES era, but I did not know they were from that era, so that's pretty cool to play some of these old games without even noticing it. This is Metroid 2. Got this just about the same amount of money, because for some reason Metroid 2 is quite rare. I don't know why. For me in my area, at least, it's rare. But yeah, so about the same price as getting this whole complete in box was this game alone. It's still worth it considering I have the SNES and I have the Super Game Boy, so I can play that on the big screen right there. So that's nice. Tetris, Space Invaders, your usual. And then the random Mickey Mouse merch. I always have Mickey Mouse merch for no reason other than the fact I could do the voice. This is another really rare thing. Well, rare in quotes, because the only reason why it's rare is because it has that nice Nintendo seal right there. I don't even want to open it because this game is pretty, well, quote-unquote old. It's not that old in the span of games, but for a sealed one, it is pretty old, and it's pretty cool in my opinion. Alpha Sapphire, that is the binge-worthy game. Sorry if it's really dark, but the binge-worthy game. I've played over about 600 plus hours on it as a kid. Animal Crossing, and that kind of scores it out for this. Over here is the controllers. Not much to say except that this is a special edition Bowser Wii remote. Other than that, it's just kind of GameCube, Xbox, PS4, SNES, one right there. Nothing really too interesting. Now down here is the Nintendo drawer. I really like Nintendo. I actually am more loyal to Xbox than Nintendo, but Nintendo has consistent good games, even though that they've been kind of wishy-washy recently. I still like buying their older games since that's what I personally find most fun. Obviously, Super Game Boy, some good NES games, kind of your basic needs. These are just some extra little bits, but your basic needs are right here. Your Marios, your Final Fantasies, your Metroids, Mega Mans, and Simon's Quest for Castlevania. I haven't played Castlevania 1, but so far Castlevania 2 is my favorite out of all of them because its music is a complete jam. Smash Bros. Melee, CIB, all these are CIB, luckily, except this Resident Evil one. I got this, and as you can see, this is kind of just fake and printed out. This one is complete washed. It's been completely refurbished to the point of barely being able to run, so that kind of blows. But I have kind of your basics, your Melee, your Wind Waker, your Mario Parties, Tales of Symphonia, blah, blah, blah. And Alien Hominid is the game I've had most hours on. The problem is I've gotten every single thing in the game, and then my cartridge corrupted, so kind of cried a little. Over here, this isn't what it's used to be because we thought our Wii broke back in the day, so we sold off quite a bit. This is the only last surviving Wii game that we've had for the past, over the generations. So this is the last surviving one from my childhood. All of these are newer ones. The Switch games, because I have a Switch Lite, sadly, not the actual Switch, but it works good enough. SNES games, I have some really rare ones, actually. This is probably my rarest SNES game. Super Mario RPG, Legend of 7 Stars, extra fun game. Probably one of the best Mario RPGs besides Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I believe it's called. But that one's amazingly fun. Mystic Quest is down here, and Mega Man X. Can't really see them because it's a bit too dark. So that is for the Nintendo drawer. Now modern console drawer right here. That is all my... There we go. That is all my Xbox 360 games. Since this was my main console, I never had a PS3 growing up. My dad did, but I never got to play, the PS3 at my own house. It was always at my dad's house. So I got the Halos, Assassin's Creeds, and the Mass Effects, all like some of my top 3 games actually. Assassin's Creed I haven't played at all. I'm just starting to play them, but the Mass Effect and Halo, basically my 2 franchises that I love the most besides BioShock. I love that sort of sci-fi type thing. It's just some of my favorite. And I've been binge playing Gears of War again recently. Now, over here is the Xbox One games. And I have some extra Xbox One games over here, but they just did not fit in the drawer, obviously. So I had to put them over with the PS4 games. Best PS4 game is obviously Bloodborne. You can fight me on that. It is the best one. Whoa, jeez, that was loud. All right. Down here is just extra crap. The best Final Fantasy, in my opinion, Final Fantasy, I believe, 9-ish. It's that one, though, and that is my favorite one. This is the PS1 Classic. It's not like the Classic. It's the PS1. Got Gran Turismo in there because I don't have the case for it anymore, sadly. And right below Final Fantasy is Resident Evil 2. Love the Resident Evil series. Great game series. Now, wandering all the way over here is to my 3rd CRT. Just got it literally this week. So that's fun. But I got this CRT. It's so old that if you could hear that, it still has only channels and... Nope. There we go. So it has only channels and literally nothing else. You can't swap it from like component and stuff like that from that CRT. Only channels, so that's pretty neat that I got a TV this old. My Nintendo Entertainment System, aka the NES, I've been binge playing this recently. Just got Mega Man 6 today, and I've been playing the crap out of that. I haven't had it for long, but it's probably one of my favorite Nintendo consoles. It's really risen. I've actually like it more than the SNES. Blasphemy, I know, but I just really like the old NES games. I grew up with Super Mario, the original. It's actually in here right now along with Duck Hunt, but I grew up with that Mario on the Virtual Console for Wii over there, so that's what I played a lot as a kid, so I think that's kind of why I have more of attachment to the NES than the SNES. That's about it for the game room, other than the little knick-knack room back here. This is some of my collectible stuff and my shrine to BioShock, BioShock 2, my favorite BioShock. That's a little bit controversial because everyone thinks 1 is the best or Infinite's the best because it's so new. But I liked 2 a lot. I thought it was great. It's kind of the first BioShock I played, so that's another reason why. But BioShock 1 and BioShock Infinite Premium Edition. This is the Rapture Edition, but I don't really count that 2 right there because I already have number 2. I actually have like 4 copies of BioShock 2 because I just love the game and I kept losing the discs, but then I found them quite a while after, so it's kind of ironic that I have about 15 BioShocks. My Complete In-Box DS Lite, my Complete In-Box Switch Lite. I mean, it's not really hard to get a Complete In-Box Switch Lite considering that they're still being sold, but love this thing. Even though that it's not as good as the actual Nintendo Switch, it's still the Switch, and the Switch is a great console. Now this is kind of a weird thing going on here. I bought this on eBay for about $5 a while ago, so that's number 1. But then I ended up getting this Complete In-Box with controller, so now I just have 2 boxes, so I can kind of show that off a little bit. Do you guys ever just have a box of something and then buy the item later if like the box is cheap? I don't know. I do that because normally boxes are pretty rare when it comes to games or collectibles. So that's just kind of the thing I do. If it's really cheap, that was again only like $5, so I just thought I'd grab that up real fast. Other than that, there's really nothing else except the Star Wars waffle maker. But other than that, that's about it for the 2020 review, game room review. Again, since I got my bedroom swapped downstairs, this is now my new game room. Very excited, been playing so many games recently, mostly NES. Sorry to say, other than Melee, it's mostly NES because I just got that NES recently, And as I said, I really like the NES. If you couldn't tell from my NES bow tie. Absolute nerd. But yeah, so thanks all for watching. Hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Game on, and see ya.